in hot water. Um,
Hot water?
and yes, I don't like tea or coffee.
Oh,
I
okay.
prefer
Hot water?
just. Uh-huh.
Anna, do you mean hot water with no flavor?
Yes, teacher.
Wow, really? That is, well, I have never met a person who liked to drink hot water. I mean, pure hot water.
Yes, I like, but just on breakfast or dinner.
Okay. Really, Anna? So, Anna, you don't like coffee nor tea?
Uh-huh.
Anna, coffee is delicious.
Yes, but I I like café de olla.
Ah, exacto, café de olla. Ah,
Ajá,
yes.
yes,
But what about instant
yes.
coffee? No? Like Nescafe?
No,
No?
no, no, teacher. I drink my coffee uh, engañado.
Pintado, ¿no?
Ajá.
Tinted.
So,
I drink my coffee tinted.
yes, I drink my coffee tinted because I don't like the coffee. I like cappuccino or this kind of coffee, but I prefer drink um, Eskimos.
Eskimos, yes, I love Eskimos. Yes, good.
Yes, yes.
Okay. Good, Anna. Excellent, excellent. And what about tea, Anna? Why don't you like tea?
Tea, I just like um,
Cold tea.
no,
No?
no, hot tea, but how do you say canela?
Cinnamon. Cinnamon.
Cinnamon, cinnamon with apple.
Okay, okay. Cinnamon with apple is good, Anna.
Yes, teacher.
Very good. Good. What about you, Lily? Do you like coffee, Lily?
I love coffee, teacher.
Very good. And what about tea?
Um, I love this too.
Very good. I love coffee, but I don't like tea very much. Okay, I prefer coffee to tea. Why? Because coffee is more has more flavor than tea. Don't you think?
Yes, teacher. I prefer coffee too.
Very good. Okay. Dear Jime, what do you prefer, Jime? Coffee or tea, Jime?
It's depend. The coffee that I like more is the olla,
Olla coffee?
yes, or some espresso. But I don't like the coffee with sugar. So
No?
if I drink coffee, I prefer without sugar, and I don't like much the instant coffee.
No? It's
No.
delicious, Jime. Instant coffee is delicious. Like in
Yes,
Nescafe or that is delicious, no?
yes, but only if I drink with sugar. If I drink without sugar, I don't like it. And the tea, I like more than coffee because the coffee sometimes I feel um how to say the acidity.
Ah, yes. I feel acidity
Acidity. I feel
in your stomach.
acidity in my stomach. Yes.
Ah, okay. I understand. Very good. Okay. Okay, my friend. So let's start. Who wants to start to present your information okay, about the Mexican Independence Days? Who wants to be the first?
Me, teacher.
Good, Lily. Yes, please. Could you please, Lily, for this presentation, could you please open your camera so that everybody can see you, please?
Yes, teacher.
Good. Excellent, Lily.
Yes,
Hello,
teacher.
Lily. Hello. Good, Lily. Good. Nice to see you, Lily. Nice to see you. Good.
Nice to see you too.
Good, Lily.
Can I share the my screen?
Yes, of course. Let me change. There, Lily. Now you can present, okay?
Okay. Okay.
Good.
Good morning. My name is Liliana, and I want to talk about the causes of Mexican Independence Day.
Good.
Before our country was independent. Wait, please. Wait a minute.
Yes.
Okay.
Good.
Before our country was independent, Mexico was called Nueva España. We had lost more than half of our territory. For example, Nevada, California, Utah, Colorado, Arizona, Texas, Louisiana. There were cities that belonged to Mexico. During the 18th century, there was a marked inequality of social classes. People who were born in Spain, children of Spain, parents had the political and economical power. On the other hand, the Creoles, people who were born from Spain, parents but born in America, could not hold public office. They could be priests, lawyers, army officers, but they could not have important positions. The mestizos had no rights and they were forced to work hard. They had to pay taxes and a few opportunities. The Black people represented slavery and were forced to work in extreme ways. The Creoles had a hard sense of belonging to the land where they were born, in contrast to Spain. They perceived its country like an unfair nation. The social difference caused economical problems. That's why conspiracies were created. The first one was the conspiracy of Valladolid in 1809. It was formed by the Creoles for the creation of a governing board and autonomy. The second one was the conspiracy of Querétaro in 1810, where Miguel Domínguez and his wife Josefa Ortiz de Domínguez attended. Also, there were Ignacio Allende, Juan Aldama, and Miguel Hidalgo y Costilla. The conspiracy was discovered, but before they were caught, Josefa Ortiz de Domínguez realized and she advised Allende. He came from San Miguel to Dolores, where the Independence War began. That's all.
Excellently good. So I have some questions, Lily. Please,
Yes.
how did Mexico lose all that territory, Lily?
I can hear you.
Yes, how did Mexico lose all that territory? Mexico was in land, in territory was bigger, but why did Mexico lose that territory?
I remember that when was the attack in Chapultepec,
Yes.
when we lost all those territories because the government, something like that.
Okay, okay. And another question, Lily. How many years did this independence war last?
Mm,
How long was the independence war?
10 years. 10
10
years.
years?
Yes.
My God, 10 years of independence. And after that, Lily, what happened? So Mexico got independence from Spain, and who became or who was the first president, or I don't know, in Mexico?
And the first president was Jime, help me.
Jime, help me, Jime.
Guadalupe Victoria.
Guadalupe Victoria, yes.
Guadalupe Victoria, yes.
She told us about it.
Very good.
Guadalupe Victoria, but after the independence war,
Yes.
our country changed because, for example, religion, we have a, oh, they obligaron,
They forced.
they forced
Mexican people
Mexican people to be
to what?
Catholic people.
Ah,
For
okay.
example, oh, however, the difference in classes will be existing now.
Okay. Okay. So, Lily, you are saying that there were two kind of citizens. Citizens who came from Spain to live in Mexico, and citizens who were born in Mexico. The
Yes.
children from Spanish people, right?
Yes.
Okay. And who was or who had more national feelings for Mexico, Lily? You
The
said
Creoles.
Creoles, right?
The
Okay.
Creoles, yes, because they feel that Spain was unfair to them.
Okay. In that time, Lily, when the independence war began, who was the ruler? Who was the ruler for Spain? What was his name or what was her name?
Nueva España.
No,
No. Mexico was Nueva España.
maybe
Okay.
was no. But no, I mean, my question is, who was the ruler, or who was the, for to call it like the governor from Spain
The ruler for Spain to be
in Mexico?
in Mexico?
Yes,
I don't understand.
in Spanish, okay. ¿Quién era Lili el gobernante de España que estaba en México? It was a king, no?
Yes,
No.
it was I don't remember, teacher.
Let's see, Greece.
Maximiliano de Hamburgo? No, ¿verdad?
I don't know. Greece, please help me, Greece. Who was Greece? Who was the governor, Greece, or the ruler from Spain when Mexican independence began?
I can't remember, but I think was Maximiliano de Habsburgo.
Maximiliano de Habsburgo.
I
Okay.
think.
Let me ask my wife.
Teacher, I can hear you.
I don't know, teacher.
Teacher.
Yes? Yes, my wife says that yes, that you are right. Yes, that is Maximiliano de Habsburgo. He was sent from Spain to Mexico, okay, to rule, para gobernar, to rule in Mexico. Very good, Lili, okay. Jime, could you please ask Lili a question about her presentation, please?
I don't know.
I don't know. I don't know. She spoke about very important facts in Mexico, okay? Could you please ask her a question?
Why? I mean, you say that they have a difference of ideology when the independence started. So what ideology was in this time?
Good question. Good
What
question.
ideology? I think the Creoles and Mestizos, they fight for their rights. They fight for their rights because it was an unfair situation that they lived, only for not to belong to the to parents, to Spain parents. Also, they are children of Spain parents, but they had born in America. There was a problem for them. That's why they were fighting, their fight for
Good.
their rights. Yes.
So Lily, you said that there were Creoles and mestizos, right?
Yes.
I have a question, Lily. What is the difference between Creoles and mestizos? Or what was the difference between Creole and mestizos?
And the Creoles were people who were born from Spain parents, but born in America. And the
Okay.
mestizos was a mixed raza,
Races?
mixed races
Huh?
of Mexican and Creoles.
Okay. Okay, I understand.
Or,
Okay.
or Spanish people.
Okay. I see. Okay, okay. Good. What about Anna? Will you please ask Lily a question, Anna, please?
Lily, could you please tell me if you know, could you tell me please what is what were the names of the schools for Creoles and mestizos?
The schools.
Ajá.
Uh,
I
good
remember,
question. Good
I
question.
remember Calmecac, but I don't remember if Calmecac was for Creoles or mestizos. And I don't remember the other school.
The other, no, I don't know, Anna. Sorry.
I
Calmecac.
don't know. Uh-huh.
Okay. Good question, Anna. Yes, I know, Anna. Well, uh, I'm not too intelligent like, for history. I just look it up on internet, and it says that Calmecac is a school for children from the Aztec kings. And there at Calmecac, they were prepared to be priests, to be teachers, to be governors, and they learned about history, astronomy, mathematics, and many other sciences. I think that it says Anna, that is for uh, a longer period back in Mexico. They were speaking about Aztec and all that. Okay, I don't know. Okay, good. What about the
I don't know, teacher.
come on, my friends. We are Mexicans and we don't know our history. Okay, that is cruel.
No,
Okay,
teacher,
that
I
is
don't like the history is the worst subject for me.
come on, Anna, really?
So do
Yes,
I.
teacher.
So do I, teacher.
Come on, Lily. No, we shouldn't be like that. Okay, we must love our history. You know that Mexican history is a lot richer than American or than many other countries' history. So we must be proud of our history. Okay. Okay. What about dear Jesse? Could you please ask Lily a question, Jesse, please?
Mm, Lily, what was the reason for start a movement independent?
Good. Good question. Good.
The reason was the unmarked social classes, the injustice, poverty. That's the reason.
Okay. 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 Good. Okay. So can you listen to me?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Porque perdí la señal. Okay. There. Okay, please. Very good. Okay. Good, Lily. Thank you very much, Lily. Good. Claps to Lily. Okay. Claps to Lily. Good presentation. Okay.
Yeah.
What about, please? Who wants to be the next? Who wants to volunteer the next? Who was volunteer, my friends?
Me, teacher. I'm going to share my screen.
Very good. Jimmy, yes. Good.
One moment.
Yes.
Uh, you look my screen?
Yes.
Yes?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. Well, I can. Yes. Now. Well, I'm going to
Good.
talk about a political and economic change after Mexican independence.
Good.
Well, the history of independence of Mexico was in 1910 and 1921. It's full of fiery struggles for ideals such as freedom and justice and equality.
Good.
So the principal ideology when the independence started was the inequality in mixed classes because
Good.
they don't have the same opportunities that the high classes. So, what happened after to independence? Well, the economy scope. Mexico was mirrored in crisis because the war um, in Mexico get a high um, oh, I don't remember the Mexico get a deuda
A debt. Mexico
a
got
debt
a debt. Mm-hmm.
a debt high economy debt. So Mexico was mirrored in crisis. Um, the war was the war had reduced the labor force for economic sustenance, such a lack of manpower influenced the decline on food products. So you don't have people work in farms. So the most problem here after the war is that no much people die. So a lot of people men die in this war, and when the war is the war was um, mm, I forgot. When the war in all time of the war, a lot of people die, and anybody work in in farms.
Okay.
So a lot of number of bodies that you can find in different places uh, could get a lot of people. A lot of people could get an infection for disease that for these people more. And the other problem was independence. Well, is that the church and or the wealthy classes. So here start with Agustin de Iturbide. Agustin de Iturbide was the first president, but I'm going to talk about more for them. He tried to raise the economy with mercantile strategies, um, but this failed. So he had to resort to drastic means such as the reduction of taxes of inventors and acquisition of church providers. He was the one who possessed the most ascent on privileged thanks the favor of the Catholic kings of Spain. So he believed that he can be an emperor in Mexico because Mexico don't have any laws and was um, in a high crisis. So he looked the opportunity to to do an empire in Mexico. So the above cause of discontents of church and the upper social classes who had supported the independence with the idea of governing the country themselves. So he have other problem when the the upper social classes or high classes want to government here in Mexico, and the church want do it the same. So and the country was on the brink of misery and turned into the English for one. That only happened for a short period and that failed to inject the expected into me. So here that Mexico was in misery, and they believe that how, how to say it, mixed classes believe that them can get more opportunities governing Mexico because they feel um, they don't feel enough in the in Mexico and New Spain because they don't have the same opportunities that upper social classes or high classes. And the church, well, you know, they have a lot of power in the government because the church was mm, a company, o how to say it, como una,
Yes.
ellos estaban o tenían gran parte del poder porque ellos eran como una organización muy fuerte en México.
¿Quién, Jimena?
La iglesia.
Yes, the church had most of the power. Se puede decir así. The church had most of the power because they had a strong presence and a strong influence in Mexico.
Yes. The church
Okay.
have a strong presence in Mexico. Them has power, have a power.
Yes.
So I'm going to talk about political situation that is related to economy. Well, you know that the years of 1821 and 1841, the country had between more than 20 rulers. So Mexico was a new country, and this country was mirrored in poverty and without diplomatic relations.
Okay.
So it was a problem because they have a high debt,
Okay. Debt.
debt.
Huh?
I don't remember well if with France or United States. In United States, no, with United
Okay.
States. When he saw his early year led by Agustin de Iturbide, and you know, well, I say that he tried to govern Mexico, but he want to be as an emperor. So he, despite having not really support the independence, soon after followed and achieved his appointment as emperor. So he was to be a emperor in Mexico.
Okay.
So the change from country to empire didn't last long because Antonio López de Santa Anna, Veracruz Caudillo, upon learning of Iturbide true objectives. So when Antonio know the truth of Agustin de Iturbide, he took up arms and managed to come to power only 10 months after being supported by Vicente Guerrero and Nicolas Bravo. So Mexico was not ready to leave the rebels, and the following years were full of uprising in the struggle for power, which ended up differentiating into two groups. Well, after to Iturbide and this ideology to made an emperor, Mexico again have a problem with two ideologies, two groups of ideologies. The first ideology was the Royalists because were supported by the United States and had a following objectives. The objectives are make a radical change in social structure of a democratic and representative republic for all social classes. And you know that they have a big problem with the without different of classes. They have different opportunities, and they want to make a democratic process. The other objective establish three powers. They want to establish three powers: executive, legislative, and judicial. And you know that it now is important powers. A lot of freedom of belief. Belief, yes. He want make individual liberties, separate the church from state, and say so essence. So it was another big point because you know the church have a lot of properties, a lot of places, a lot of area. So they want to recuperate.
Recover. They wanted to recover.
You want to recover these areas. The objective, the army crimes be judged fairly.
Fairly.
Fairly. For finally, the education was available to everyone. So it was another good point because you know that no everybody can get education. The problem here that people live in poverty and mixed classes don't have the derecho es
right. The right.
The right to education. So they want to do these objectives to try to make a better Mexico. And the other group of ideologies was the conservatives, were supported by the privileged classes and the army, Spain and France. And their objectives were continue the privilege of the rich, institute a centralist monarchy with states as departments, allowing a clergy privilege and not allowing free choice of religion. That the church provide education to eliminate liberal ideas at their roots, and educational available only to the rich. So they want to make the same that before to independence. They don't want to change the Mexico. They want that Mexico continue who was before the independence. So here, in the battles between these two factions once again plunges the country into disarray, and many of the Central American privileges is separate. The Congress appointed a triumvirate. Triumvirate, in which power would fall while a National Assembly was convened. In addition, in 1924, a fundamental constitution of 36 articles was published, which established that the country will be governed representative popularly as a federalist republic. So you can say that Royalists win this war of ideologies
Okay.
The states were given power and sovereignty so that, that even though they were a part of the country, and they had their own governments and laws, and this was the basis of the current federal governance of the country. So here that the power, you can say that was equality. And the first president under this premise was Guadalupe Victoria, who
Okay.
was decided by the people with the hope that would bring the true change of independence. So after the independence, you can say that they have a big problem with that economy, and a lot of people that die and without handwork and food. It was a big problem. The discrimination of the interclasses. So when um, these two factions um, war for the power, the Royalists win, and now Mexico have a constitution, but no, isn't this is the constitution is in, la 1917,
What?
la constitución que está ahora es la de
Oh, I don't know. 1910, no.
hay un metro,
Ah,
dicen
okay.
metro, pero no recuerdo el año, no sé si es la de 1917 o algo así.
Okay, okay. Maybe, you
Sí,
know.
es la de 1817.
No,
Yes.
Sí.
900, ¿no?
1917.
1917. I think it's the last
Constitution.
station of subject of line 8.
Ah, yes, it's true. El método de constitución de 1900. Sí, it's true. Yes, it's true. Yes, yes. Ah, okay, okay,
Yes.
okay. Okay, okay. Interesting.
But this was the first constitution, and they have 36 articles, and the constitution that now was established. I don't know how many articles have, but it's really different than the first constitution.
Very good.
And that's all.
Very good, my friends. Okay. Very good. Okay, okay. Good, Jime. So I think the time is going to be over again, but don't worry, okay? We go out and we reconnect, okay?
Yes.
Okay, because we are missing the other students and some questions. Very good, my friends. Okay, let's reconnect, okay? I'm going to finish it and we could reconnect immediately, okay?
Okay, teacher.
Yes, good.